Python is one of my favorite programming languages, and it's also the top programming language in the world. A lot of people are learning it day by day. So you know what? We're going to talk about the best IDEs for Python this year, 2021. And what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to go through different ranges from heavy duty IDE with tons of features. And after that, we'll go down to more of the lightweight environments. So you know what? Let's get started. The first one is, I'm sure you know this, it's PyCharm. It has to be PyCharm. I know some people will say, oh, PyCharm is slow and all that, but the upside is way more than the downside. So why PyCharm? This is one of my favorite IDEs. I pretty much use it for all the tutorials I've done on this channel. I'm not being partial here, but PyCharm is one of the largest IDEs on this list, and it offers a ton of features. Personally, one of my favorite things about PyCharm is that you can actually run the code within the environment. And this allows us to run line by line, or actually the whole program, right in the IDE. On top of this, PyCharm also has a lot of features like this. PyCharm has the following features: an intelligent Python assistant, it also has web development frameworks, it has scientific tools, it has cross-technology development, remote development capabilities, and also a built-in developer tools. And these are just some of the great features that PyCharm has, so for sure check it out if you haven't used it before. The downside is some people say it's slow, but I do not believe that. I think Python as a programming language is not the fastest, and yeah, you can't blame the IDE for the programming language being slow. The second one on this list, it has to be VS Code. And this is also a very popular IDE built by Microsoft, and this IDE has a multi-language interpreter, so you can run code from different programming languages, and one of them is actually Python. You could also do C, you could do JavaScript there too, so that's the advantage of Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is an industry standard which is used at a ton of different companies. So for sure, I really do recommend you actually learning Visual Studio Code. I'll be having a tutorial for Visual Studio Code coming very soon, because I do feel it's a must as a developer to actually understand it and be able to use it. Most of the time you will be using it to work. The third one is Sublime Text. Now Sublime Text is another very popular IDE for Windows, Mac, and Linux. This IDE is also extremely popular. It supports multiple different languages just like Visual Studio Code. And I will say it's also used in multiple companies just because of the fact that it does support different programming languages. And yes guys, down in the description below, I'll leave a link where you can download all these IDs and check them out for yourself. The fourth one is Atom, and Atom is the fourth one for a reason. There's nothing too special about it, but yeah, it's powerful. It's used with different operating systems, and also it can use different programming languages. But apart from that, it's just more preference. It's more of the way the UI is and all that, that more people use it. So that's the thing with Atom, is that the user interface, a lot of people like it to maybe PyCharm or Visual Studio Code, but apart from that, most of what Atom offers, Visual Studio Code offers it, PyCharm offers it, and even Sublime Text offers it too. And the fifth one is Spider, and this IDE is essentially an RStudio but for Python. This IDE is known for data science development. It also houses variable explorers and a built-in terminal. And for sure, if you're a data scientist or you want to be a data scientist, I would put this as number one. So Spider would be your number one IDE if you're going into data science. And before we end this, an honorable mention is Google Colabs. I'll leave a card for the tutorials I did with Google Colab, but why this didn't make the list is because it's an online IDE, so it doesn't really meet that mark. But the reason why I didn't make this list, which is that it's online, is one great thing about it is because you don't need to download anything, you don't need to install anything. All you need to do is go to the web page, sign in with your Google account, and you have an IDE where you can practically code anything you want. Another reason why I like it is because of the blocks that you can create. So for me, I feel that really helps you when you don't want to have a lot of bugs. And for data science, especially if you're trying to build like a strategy for algorithmic trading or just something similar to Python for finance, I think this is the best IDE to use. Yeah, so these are the IDEs. I mostly use PyCharm, sometimes Visual Studio Code, but mostly PyCharm and also Google Colabs. And yes guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also comment down below if you feel an IDE should have made this list. If you agree with this list or you disagree with this list, put it down in the comments below. But I'm gonna wrap this up and I'll see you all on the next one.